In this class, let us discuss about the energy levels of a particle which is enclosed in a one-dimensional potential box of infinite height. The energy levels of a particle enclosed in one-dimensional potential box of infinite height. This means energy levels of a particle means the particle which is in motion possesses wave nature. As we discussed in our Bohr atom model, there are different energy levels for an electron which is revolving around the nucleus. Like that, whenever the particle, even if it is a charged one or not, whenever the particle is in motion, it exhibits wave-like properties. So, it also have some energies. But those energies are discrete energy levels. Those energies which are possessed by the moving particle are discrete energy levels. That is what we are going to discuss in this class. So, in this, a particle of mass m is moving freely in between two rigid walls A and B as shown in the diagram. The width of the well or the space between the two walls is small a. So when the particle is moving freely inside the box, it has no force is acting on it because it is freely moving. No force is acting on it because it is freely moving. But whenever the particle strikes the walls of the vessel, the energy is converted into potential energy. By the definition of potential energy, we know that F is equal to dou V by dou x or dV is equal to F dx. That means the potential energy is the product of force and displacement. From that, we can write F is equal to dou V by dou x. So, whenever delta V tends to 0, as delta x tends to 0, then dou V by dou x becomes finite. That means when the particle strikes the wall, it has some force value, finite force value. So, this is by the definition of potential energy. So, the potential energy becomes infinite when x is less than 0 or x is greater than a. And also it is 0 for 0 is less than x and x is less than or equal to a. This means the potential function becomes 0 at the walls of the box. Like that, we can understand the value of force potential for the moving particle which is moving freely inside the box. But according to the Schrodinger's wave equation, we can write d square psi by dx square plus 8 pi square m by h square of E minus V of psi is equal to 0. Here E is the total energy and V is the potential energy and psi is the wave function and h is the Planck's constant. So now we are going to discuss about the energy levels of wave. Here wave means de Broglie wave. Here de Broglie wave is associated with the moving particle. Inside the box, no force is acting on it because it is moving freely. It is supposed that the potential energy of the particle inside the box is 0. But whenever the particle strikes the walls, the force has some finite value, since F is equal to dou V by dou X. Why F is equal to dou V by dou X? Because dou V is equal to F into dou X. The product of force and displacement will give the change in potential energy. From this expression, if delta V tends to infinity, delta X tends to infinity, then dou V by dou X has a finite value F. If delta X tends to infinity, then delta X also tends to 0, then dou V by dou X has a finite value, say it is F. So, the potential energy of the particle becomes infinite at the walls. Thus, the potential function is defined. The potential energy of the particle becomes infinite at the walls. So, the potential function is defined as Vx is equal to infinite at x is less than 0 or greater than a, and Vx is equal to 0 for 0 is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to a. That means at the boundaries of this box, the potential energy becomes infinite. In between, the potential energy is 0, because delta V tends to infinite when delta X tends to 0. At the wall, delta X becomes 0. The distance between the particle and the wall tends to 0 whenever the particle reaches this wall. That's why we can write delta V tends to infinity when delta X tends to infinity. Therefore, in such a case, dou V by dou X has a finite value F. That's why the potential function is defined as Vx is equal to infinity for x is less than 0 or x is greater than a. And Vx, here V is the potential energy, is 0 for 0 less than or equal to x less than or equal to a. The coordinate of this wall is x is equal to 0. For this wall it is x is equal to a. So, the distance between the two walls is equal to a. The particle of mass m is moving in between these two walls. At the center, in between these two walls, no force is acting on it. Whenever the particle strikes the wall, the force will come into existence. Now, we are going to derive the possible energy states of the moving particle which is moving between these two walls. The possible energy levels. All energies are not possible for the wave. Here, the moving particle is supposed to be treated as a wave. Then, it possesses only discrete energy levels, just like the electron in our Bohr atom model. So, the possible energy levels are estimated with the help of Schrödinger wave equation. Schrödinger wave equation is applicable for matter wave. Schrödinger wave equation is the equation which is used to represent the matter wave. So, it is d square psi by dx square plus 8 pi square m by h square of E minus V of psi is equal to 0. Here psi is the wave function of de Broglie wave or matter wave. M is the mass, E is the total energy, and V is the potential energy. And V is the potential energy. Once again, what we are going to derive? We are going to derive the possible energy levels of a particle which is moving freely inside a potential box. Inside a potential box. That means the particle possesses only discrete energy levels, but not all possible energies. Only discrete energy levels, only finite energy levels. Just like electron which is revolving around the nucleus in Bohr atom. Just like electron which is revolving around in Bohr atom. It has discrete energy levels. They are represented as E1, E2, E3, etc. Like that, here also, the possible energies are only finite number. Only finite number of energy levels are possible for the moving particle inside a potential box. So here the moving particle behaves like a wave. So to represent that wave, we have to use the Schrodinger wave equation, which is d square psi by dx square plus 8 pi square m by h square of E minus V of psi is equal to 0. If the particle is free from potential energy in between these two, in this space, V is equal to 0. V is equal to 0 between the walls, because no potential energy is possessed by the particle in between the two walls. So, the Schrodinger equation is reduced to d square psi by dx square plus 8 pi square m by h square of E of psi is equal to 0. That means here V is equal to 0. Or d square psi by dx square plus k square psi is equal to 0, where k square is equal to 8 pi square m by h square of E, where all this term is represented as k square. So, the solution for this differential equation is in the form psi x is equal to a sin kx plus b cos kx. The solution for this differential equation is in the form psi x is equal to a sin kx plus b cos kx. Now, applying the boundary conditions, psi is equal to 0 at x is equal to 0. This is from the probability of the finding particle concept. The probability of finding particle at any place is represented by psi square. So, we cannot find the particle inside the wall or inside this wall also. That means, whenever psi is equal to x is equal to 0, we cannot find the particle. The probability of finding the particle is given by psi square. If psi square is equal to 0, psi is equal to 0. Inside the wall we cannot find the particle. That's why if x is equal to 0, psi is equal to 0. Also in this residual also, we cannot find the particle because the particle is moving only in the free space. It cannot penetrate into the walls. So, when x is equal to a, psi is equal to 0. When x is equal to 0, also psi is equal to 0. These boundary conditions are from the probability concept. The probability of finding a particle is given by psi square. If psi is equal to 0, psi square is equal to 0, the probability of finding a particle at that point is 0. So, we cannot find the particle inside the wall. That's why when x is equal to 0, psi is equal to 0. Similarly, when x is equal to a, psi is equal to 0. Substituting this boundary condition in the equation, we get 0 is equal to a sin 0 plus b cos 0 implies b is equal to 0. Therefore, the solution reduced into psi x is equal to a sin kx. Psi x is equal to a sin kx. Also, by using the second boundary condition, psi is equal to 0 when x is equal to a. That means 0 is equal to a sin ka. When x is equal to a, psi is equal to 0. We cannot find the existence of the particle beyond a. Therefore, psi x is equal to 0 when x is equal to a. But a is not equal to 0 because already b is equal to 0. If both a and b are zeros, then there is no solution for this differential equation. So, we cannot consider the case as a is equal to 0. Therefore, we can write sin ka is equal to 0 implies ka is equal to n pi implies k is equal to n pi by a. So, the general solution of the wave equation is represented by psi x is equal to a sin n pi x by a because k is equal to n pi by a. For this, the eigenvalues can be found like this. Since k square is equal to n square pi square by a square, but k square is equal to from this equation 8 pi square me by h square. 8 pi square by me by h square implies E is equal to n square h square by 8ma square. If let us write h by 2 pi as h cross, h by 2 pi is equal to h cross, then we can write E is equal to n square pi square h cross square by 2ma square. That means En is equal to pi square h cross square by 2ma square, n is equal to 1. E2 is equal to pi square h cross square by 2ma square into 4, n is equal to 2. Similarly, pi square h cross square by 2ma square, n is equal to 3 because it is 9 pi square h cross square by 2ma square. Similarly, E4, 16 pi square h cross square by 2ma square. Similarly, we can find the values of possible energies like E1, E2, E3, etc. So, the value of E2 is more than E1, and the value of E3 is also more than E2. Not only that, the difference between E3 and E2 is greater than the difference between E2 and E1. So, if we represent these energies as an energy level diagram, the first energy bandwidth is small, and the second energy bandwidth is somewhat greater than the first one, and similarly the third energy band gap is also greater than the second one. Like this, the possible energies of a freely moving particle in one-dimensional potential box are derived. This is the energy levels of particle enclosed in a one-dimensional box. The energy levels of a particle enclosed in a one-dimensional box. So, the concept of the energy levels means when the particle is moving freely in a potential box, it possesses only discrete energy levels. With the help of Schrödinger equations, we can derive the expressions for those energy levels. By this, our third unit is completed. So, students, once again, my advice is you must have your own textbook. In our library, number of copies are available. In the market also, the copies are available. So, please try to have your own textbook. Then only this lecture is helpful to you to understand the concept to some extent. Okay, thank you.